Our next guest, well, what can I say? He's just a wonderful man. Christopher Skase, actually, seriously, he stunned the finance world and also the movie world generally at the weekend with the announcement that his Qintex group had bought the American film giant United Artists as part of a billion-dollar deal. At just 40 years of age, he's gained control of a film production and distribution giant, and in the process, he's got the rights to magnificent movies such as Rain Man, James Bond, and Rocky. From his office in Brisbane, please welcome Christopher Skase.
Good afternoon, Bert.
Good afternoon, Christopher. I wonder for me and for my audience, if we could just try and cut through the technicalities of big finance and just tell us what you've done and how you've managed to do it.
But in very simple terms, what we have done is reached agreement to acquire one of the 7 largest film studios and film libraries in the world, MGA United Artists. And in addition to the film studio and film library assets of MGMUA, we also have, with that purchase, the world's largest video cassette and video disc company, one of the world's largest domestic theatrical distribution companies in the United States, a participant in the world's largest non-American theatrical distribution unit, and really at the core of it all, we have acquired a library of 4,000 feature films, which includes some of the finest titles, both of a contemporary nature and some going back into history.
American friends have told me since the weekend that, of course, I mean, big deals are nothing new to America, but this one got headline news in all the important newspapers, not just in business pages. So it intrigues me as to why you did it.
But I think you can see the origins in the rationale going back to our statement some years ago that the Qintex Group was going to devote its entire operating strategy to 2 businesses, media and entertainment and resorts and leisure, and in 2 countries, Australia and the United States of America. And when you think about that statement, which is probably 5 years old now, I think it really sums it up. The acquisition of MGMUA fits, I think, superbly with the Australian Television Network and fits superbly with Mirage Resorts.
Mm-hmm. So you think the implications for Australia, and not just your group, but also for the industry generally, you think that it's good times ahead?
I don't think there's any doubt that this acquisition is probably the best news for the Australian film industry in 10 or 15 years.
What about ambitions you had as a younger man and as a teenager? Did you ever believe that these sort of things, the things that have happened to you in recent years, could come to fruition?
No, I didn't, to be quite honest. I've always been very interested in the media business. My father was in the business, working with the Herald and Weekly Times and Channel 7 for a number of years, and I think that's where my interest in the industry really started, although I didn't at any time really focus on a particular number or a particular project. It really has been an exercise in evolution, but it's also been an exercise in an enormous amount of patience and a lot of persistence.
Sure. Television is housed with some very courageous people. I have a floor manager here who's suggesting we have 4 minutes to go. My suggestion is that we finish it when you feel like it.
I think we should keep going till about 2:30.
Christopher, I heard Randall McDonald on radio this morning describe it as a very interesting, very exciting, and this was the adjective which appealed to me, a very courageous move. What sort of courage did it require?
Well, I think that when you're looking at an acquisition of this size, notwithstanding the fact that we first looked at it 12 months ago and really started to analyse it 6 months ago, and even in today's world where inflation has eaten away the value of the dollar, $1 billion US is still $1 billion US. And there comes a point in negotiations and in a transaction like this where you have to make a very calculated decision. You either go forward or fall over.
In a situation like this, what's the worst scenario that can happen? What do you look out for as bad news?
I think the main thing is to do the research carefully. I think that providing you've had the time to turn over the tables and chairs and open the closet and really have a good look at what you're buying, then you really can take comfort that what you see is what you get, and that's very much the case in this acquisition.
The people around you must be very important. Obviously, you surround yourself with experts in the fields that you want to enter. But the final decision to go with this one or anything of any magnitude, is that always you alone?
Yes, I think that it's very much like the captain of a football team. At the end of the day, someone has to make the decision, someone has to make the critical decisions, and while there's a very high level of collaboration and cooperative work in projects of this nature, someone has to take the important decision, someone has to press the button, and in this company and in this case it was me.
Just one final question. The roaring lion, the most famous trademark of any show business institution in the world, you didn't quite get that, did you? Or you may have had it just for a very brief moment.
Yes, I chased the lion around the room over 6 months, to be quite honest. We obviously were very attracted to the MGM logo because of its enormous international value, its enormous significance in the world of films, but the deal had to be structured in the end in a manner that we could feel comfortable with, and to be quite honest, at the end of the day, it was either going to be the MGM Lion and a very small package of about 3 dozen films, or the United Artists name and 4,000 films. And so while Leo the Lion got away, I think we got a package of films that more than compensated for that.
Christopher, just one PS. Do you ever wake up in the morning or wake up during the night and think, have I bitten off too much?
But I think that's an inevitable feeling that you have from time to time, and it's a question of balance versus survival. We have, for example, in the last 3 months, reduced our liabilities by something like $800 million with equity raisings and the divestment of non-core activities, and I think providing you know what you have to do to keep what you want to keep, we'll all be okay.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for talking to us today. And, of course, anytime you want to be on the show, just hit that button up there and you're here.
Thank you, Bert.
All the best.
Good luck.
Christopher Skase, back with you after this break with my old mate, Barry Crocker.
Do 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 do.